Hi guys, today I want to talk about another reason why people might not be going on dates with you or not going on a second or third date with you. And it could be that you're making fun of them, that you're being sarcastic, imitating them or making them feel stupid. Now, there are some people out there who are really good sports and will give you just as much back, and if that's the kind of person you are and that's the kind of person you find, then great. But there are a lot of people out there who are not going to like that, and if you want to increase your chances of being with somebody or getting more dates or whatever the case may be, then really think about if you're making jokes at their expense, because not many people like to be made fun of, have their the way they do things put down or pointed out or made fun of, or all the rest of it. So be very mindful of this. If you're the kind of person that does this could be a reason why people don't want to date you or don't want to go on a second date with you. Now, I'm a really strong believer in not making people feel stupid, and whenever I crack jokes and things like that, it would be very, 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 very rare for me to crack a joke at somebody else's expense, especially in front of others. And if I did ever do that, it would honestly be something that I know that they're not sensitive about. And you need to be thoughtful and mindful of people, because a lot of people do have things they are sensitive about, or they have triggers, buttons that you can push and all the rest of it. And if you're one of those people that delights in pushing people's buttons, getting reactions, doing things to people that they don't like, that's actually really immature behaviour, something you would expect from a teenager. Now you're a grown adult, so let's be nice and kind and polite to people, and don't pay out on them or pick on them in a funny way or whatever. Don't imitate them. Like I said, if you find someone who does that back to you, great, you found your match. That's fantastic. But for most of society, people don't like to be made fun of. So I went on a date with a guy once, and we went ice skating. And all he did the whole time, because I'm not a very good ice skater, it's years between ice skating sessions for me. So trying to keep your balance and everything, your arms are flailing around and whatever. And he was actually quite good at ice skating. And instead of coming and helping me or supporting me or standing near me in case I fell, or, having any positive, encouraging words or anything like that, all he did was skate about 3 or 4 or 5 meters in front of me and imitate what I was doing, and just made fun of me the entire session. And, you're sitting there and you're sort of laughing it off and making it look like it doesn't bother you and all the rest of it, and you don't want to come across as a bad sport or whatever the rest of it. But you know what? You're sitting there and you're thinking, what an asshole. What a dickhead. What a jerk. You're trying your best to do this ice skating thing, and all you're doing is getting made fun of in front of everybody else, mind you, the whole time you're there. It did not make that date fun at all, and I'd never wanted to go ice skating with him again. And needless to say that we didn't last long, and not just because of that, other things as well, but they're all nails in the coffin, aren't they? So don't make fun of people. There's really no need for it. Like, what do you get out of putting them down? And this is a person you're supposed to be trying to win over and make like you, but you're making fun of them and putting them down and imitating them. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Shouldn't you be trying to impress them instead? Build them up, make them feel good about themselves? So if you're doing that, guys, stop it. It's so immature. And I'm going to touch on sarcasm now. Sarcasm really is the lowest form of wit. If you can't be, and I touched on this in a previous video, if you can't have an intelligent sense of humour where you're genuinely funny, and you can really find funny things to say without resorting to sarcasm or putting others down or making fun of people, then it's really not intelligent. It's not intelligent humour at all. So stop with the sarcasm, because all it does is makes people feel stupid. And nobody wants to be around somebody that makes them feel stupid. People may not always remember the things you've said, but they will always remember the way you made them feel. And if you do nothing but make them feel stupid or silly or judged or watched is another thing, and I'll touch on that in a minute. The feeling they're going to have about you after the dates with you and everything is not going to be positive. It's going to be negative, and they may not want to see you again. Like I said, there are some people who love sarcasm. Great. But there's a lot of people who don't. So pick your battles, guys. Pick who you're sarcastic around. And if you're a naturally sarcastic person and you know you rub some people up the wrong way, then honestly work on it. Because it's not nice. It's not cool. It's not fair to go around picking on other people or making them feel small or stupid when they're not doing it to you. Is it right to do something to somebody else that they're not doing to you? No, it's not. So seriously work on it, guys. Like if you want to pick on someone to be funny, pick on yourself, because making jokes about yourself and your own shortcomings and all the rest of it, that is funny. Because people know you're not serious. You're just having a dig at yourself. You're not taking yourself too seriously. You know what your faults are, but whatever, you don't really care. So it is funny. So if you want to pick on someone, pick on yourself. Also, don't make fun of the way they have just said something. Like, is it so hard to let it go? Is it so hard to have a real sense of humour? Is it so hard to build people up? There's a lot of people that like to make fun of people and tear people down these days. Be one of those people who build people up. Now, I did that with my current partner. I was very complimentary. I built him up and all the rest of it. And guys, it works. Like, you don't have to be sickly. And please don't ever lie when you give compliments. Don't ever lie. People see through it. Now, there was a stage that I put on a lot of weight because of some trauma I was going through. And I met up with a friend, and before I met her, I hadn't seen her in quite a while. I told her, I've put on a lot of weight, look for the fatty bumper or whatever, because I can make fun of myself. And when I arrived, now she's a lovely girl. She's really nice, and she does try to make people feel good about themselves and all the rest of it. I really can't say many bad words about her at all. But when I arrived and she saw me and I was clearly overweight, she's like, "Oh, you're so skinny." Now, come on, guys. We can see through that. There's no way in hell that I was skinny. So it comes across as really fake and trying too hard. Now, I appreciate that she wants to build you up and make you feel good about yourself. That's a really, really admirable quality, and please, please possess it. If you're not good at giving compliments, please learn. But when they're sycophantic or, you can just clearly see there's no way in hell that compliment would ever be true. People are not going to take it so well. They're just going to go, "Oh, can I trust anything she actually says about me?" With her compliments, So be complimentary, but genuine. Be genuine. Say the things that are true. Like, say somebody has put on weight. Instead of them rocking up and go, "Oh, you're so skinny," talk about, "Oh, wow, your hair looks amazing," or "What a cool outfit," or, find something that's true to compliment. Don't fake it. Because we can tell. We might not say anything, but we can tell. You can tell you're lying through your teeth, even if your intentions are great. Nobody really wants to be false flattered. So please make sure that your compliments are for real. So if you're the kind of person that makes fun of people, imitates people, sarcastic, try to turn it around and be flattering. Build them up. You don't have to do it every 5 seconds, because then it would just become cheesy. But, so be complimentary and have a real sense of humour. Really make them laugh about things that are not putting anybody down, with the exception of yourself. And just touching on the being watched thing I said I'd talk about later. People don't like to sit there thinking somebody is watching everything they do, because it's like a judgment, and it really feels like you're just constantly being judged, and it ends up making you a little self-conscious. I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about. I worked at this job one time, and I would sit next to this guy who was about 25, and I would bring afternoon tea in, because the job was from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a part-time role. And I'd have a 15-minute break in the meantime, and I'd generally eat my afternoon tea at my desk. And I'd generally bring like cherry tomatoes that I grew on my bush at home, and some nuts and some seeds and maybe a little bit of dried fruit or whatever. It was really quite a healthy snack. Nothing processed, nothing sugary, nothing, And he would feel the need to comment on me eating. And he's like, "Oh, you're always eating," or something like that. And I'm thinking, okay, I see you from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. I have one afternoon tea break on which I'm eating a healthy snack. So where is he getting off saying I'm always eating and all the rest of it? So it made me feel really watched and really judged. Like I didn't want to eat in front of him anymore because he couldn't control himself by judging and watching. Now, people don't like to feel watched, and that was really quite ridiculous of him. So guys, don't watch people. And if you do watch people, don't let them know about it. Like, nobody wants to be around someone that's making them feel self-conscious, judged, or watched. And there was another time I went on a date with a guy, and it was at a cinema, and it was multi-level, so you'd buy your tickets downstairs, and then you'd either walk up quite a few stairs, like probably equivalent of 2.5 flights of stairs, maybe 2. You could either walk up the stairs to the cinema or go on the escalator. Now, I went on the escalator for 2 reasons. One, I was putting all my stuff back in my wallet and everything, and if I didn't take the escalator where I could just sort of stand there and relax and do that, I'd have to do it at the bottom of the stairs and wait till I was finished and then walk up. Also, it takes longer to walk up the stairs when you're trying to go to your movie, and let's face it, who wants to walk up 2 flights of stairs when you've got an escalator? And there's nothing wrong with that. But he turned around and was like, oh, no exercise, hey, you've got to take the escalators, or something to that effect. And I'm like, I felt so judged. Like, there was no need for that. Who cares if you're taking the escalator? I could be a gym junkie for all he knows. It was like a second date or something. Just because I wasn't walking up the stairs then doesn't mean I do nothing else. And if I don't do anything else, how is that affecting him? I was slim. There was no reason for him to judge. Even if I was overweight, there was no reason for him to judge. If he didn't want to be with somebody who doesn't take the stairs or whatever, then don't ask him out on another date. But sitting there and commenting on it and watching that person and making them feel judged and watched and all the rest of it, it's not on, guys. It's not on. So anyway, guys, that's my advice, and really assess whether you're one of those people. And this might be, if you are, this might be why you're not getting dates or not getting second or third dates. So I wish you all the best with this. And from Aussie land, farewell.